We all know the boy who flew too close to the sun. His wings melted, his body fell, and the cold Aegean Sea swallowed his name into legend. But what if Icarus actually listened to his father? What if he kept to the middle course, landed safely on the shores of Sicily, and kick-started the aviation age 2,000 years early? In our history, the tragic fall of Icarus became a warning about human pride and the dangers of playing God. But in this alternate timeline, his survival changes everything. Imagine Icarus and his father, Daedalus, touching down gently on the sandy beaches of Italy. They are not dead heroes of a myth. They are living, breathing pioneers who have just achieved the impossible. They have conquered the sky. At first, the local king, Cocalus, treats them with absolute awe. The news of flying men spreads like wildfire across the Mediterranean. But Daedalus is a practical inventor. He does not keep his designs a secret. With his son alive, he is inspired to refine his creation. He replaces the fragile bird feathers and melting wax with lightweight, treated linen, sturdy bronze joints, and flexible ash wood. The first true hang gliders are born. Within a generation, Sicily becomes the engineering capital of the ancient world. Daedalus establishes the first academy of aeronautics. Young minds from Athens, Sparta, Carthage, and Alexandria flock to the island to learn the physics of lift, drag, and thrust. The myth of the gods flying in chariots becomes a blueprint for human engineering. As the technology spreads, the nature of ancient warfare changes forever. Imagine the Peloponnesian War, but fought in 3 dimensions. Sparta, famous for its unstoppable land army, suddenly finds itself defenseless against Athenian gliders dropping jars of burning pitch and Greek fire from the clouds. Siege walls, once the ultimate defense of a city, become completely useless. Why starve out a city for years when you can glide over its walls in a single night? To survive, every empire must adapt. The Romans, masters of engineering, create the testudo volans or flying tortoise. These are reinforced gliders designed to transport heavily armored legionaries directly behind enemy lines. They also build giant ballistas designed specifically to shoot down enemy gliders, developing the world's first anti-aircraft weapons. Meanwhile, Carthage builds massive wooden aircraft carriers, huge, flat-decked triremes that launch fleets of gliders into the Mediterranean winds. The seas are no longer the ultimate boundary of power. The sky is the new battlefield. By the time Alexander the Great rises to power, the world is unrecognizable. Alexander does not just march his armies across Persia. He commands the sky phalanx. From high above, his scouts map enemy positions with perfect accuracy. Supply lines, once the greatest weakness of any invading army, are maintained by fleets of cargo-carrying gliders towed by massive sailing ships. Alexander's empire doesn't just reach India, it establishes permanent aerial trade routes across the continent. This ancient aviation revolution accelerates human progress at a breathtaking speed. With flight comes a deeper understanding of atmospheric pressure, meteorology, and materials science. The Library of Alexandria becomes the world's greatest research hub and airport. Heron of Alexandria, famous in our timeline for his steam-powered toys, now designs actual steam turbines to propel massive bronze-winged airships. The Industrial Revolution, which took humanity nearly 2,000 years to reach in our timeline, happens before the birth of Christ. Ancient steam-powered airships, filled with hot air, float majestically over the pyramids of Egypt and the temples of Greece. The map of the world is completely redrawn. Explorers no longer fear the vast, uncharted oceans. Guided by winds and aerial scouts, Greek and Carthaginian navigators cross the Atlantic Ocean. They discover the Americas 2,000 years before Christopher Columbus. They map the entire globe, establishing trade networks between the Mediterranean, the Aztec and Mayan civilizations, and the dynasties of China. The world becomes connected, smaller, and vastly more advanced. But this rapid advancement comes with a dark cost. The skies, once the peaceful domain of birds and gods, are now choked with smoke, soot, and the wreckage of fallen warships. The rapid burning of wood and early coal to power these aerial empires triggers early environmental shifts. The ancient world is wealthier, more connected, and highly technological, but it is also far more dangerous. All of this, because one boy decided to listen to his father. Because he chose the middle path, respected the limits of his tools, and landed safely on the beach. A single sensible decision by a young man rewrites the entire destiny of the human race. If you could travel back in time to this flying ancient world, would you have dared to join the first sky fleets? Or do you think humanity was better off keeping its feet on the ground? Tell us what you think in the comments below. If you enjoyed this journey into what could have been, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into alternate history and mythology. Until next time, keep looking to the skies.